What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Leaving Treadmarks Garage. This is going to be part 2 of our wide body install. We're probably going to be attaching the wide body to where it won't come off anymore. Screw it on, throw some glue on, and however else Sean wants to go about this. So stay tuned. So we ended last video with cutting this fender up, mounting it. Sean's just fully going over the passenger fender, making sure all the bolts are tight. So that way we can go ahead and attach this wide body, start gluing it on, and maybe possibly get some fiberglass on it this episode. We're not sure. We'll see how it goes. But let's get these fenders tightened up so we can get to work. So to get ready to mold this wide body on, the side skirt actually goes from the rocker panel over to the fender. So Sean's actually taping the line so we can actually cut that side skirt and attach part of it to the fender and part of it to our rocker. When you do tape lines, you probably want to go ahead and write on which side you want to cut. Too many times in the body shop industry we've seen lines either painted or cut on the wrong side of your tape. So just go ahead and put your arrows right where you're going to cut. It's a little extra step that ensures you're going to do it right the first time. So guys, we went ahead and took off the doors just because we're going to have to mold in here, the rocker section, and just so we can make sure that cut was at the right spot. So both doors have been taken off. Sean is just tightening up some fender bolts, make sure it's 100% perfect. And we'll be able to start gluing some stuff in after we cut that side skirt, start screwing it on, and let that panel dry so we can put some fiberglass on. So Sean's already gone ahead and scribed this one so we knew where we were going to cut it. You guys saw that last episode. Now we've cut the side skirt so it now perfectly stays that little piece on the fender, and then the side skirt's going to get marked to the rocker. And then Sean's back here just scribing the outline of the rear flare just so we know where we need to grind and add the panel bond to when we go to fully set this on and screw and glue it. So now all the way around, we've got the outline. We know exactly where the kit goes. You can see up into the rocker panel, it's going to go on that line. So now we've got the outline of where the fender flare is going to go, and we're able to grind down exactly what we need and start gluing. What are you doing, Bo?
Well, you want to always sand, like when you're about to use panel bond, good 80 grit sandpaper, like on this fiberglass stuff. That way it has something to bite to. It's really just part of it.
Alright. So we have to sand each piece on the center line?
Like right there where like the screws are going to go. And right, because what you essentially want is the glue to be right here on the edge and kind of create a nice tight hold to the body. And of course the extra fiberglass stuff we're going to put on will just help it, but this is just the first step.
So we're going to go sand each piece around the outline, and then we're going to grind down all the metal, and it should be able to glue to each other basically?
Correct.
Alright. So now that we've got everything grinded down, Sean's going to go ahead and throw some of that panel bond down. And basically it's just a two-part. Oh my God!
All right. So this is it. You know, we showed you earlier. It goes right into this special gun here. Like I said, there's different versions. This is just mine. And basically, anytime you use this stuff, I've already done it. I didn't think about it, but you put a new tube on every time, and you always want to run out the length of the tube so it mixes correctly.
Basically, you just want to spread it out as much as possible. We're going to use a brush later to, you know, spread it even more. Or a spreader, depending on what section we're on. Basically, you're just trying to get a full even coat on that exposed metal. Give as much area for this panel to stick to. So on this wider panel, Sean's going to go ahead and use that spreader just to get it evenly coated. In tighter spots, we'll probably use a brush here or there. Your goal is to cover all of this metal that you've exposed by grinding down. So as you see, Sean's doing a good job of just spreading it. Got a lip there we've got to get to, but pretty much just covering all that metal. One, you don't want it to rust later, but two, you want to give as much surface area for that panel bond to stick to so your panel fully adheres and doesn't fall or crack off later. So now that Sean spread it out, we did go ahead and add just a layer of goop, just kind of line. The point of that is basically to spread out. So when the panel hits it, or squeeze out, I guess. When the panel sits down on that, you're going to want that to squeeze out, and that's going to help us get that edge that we need. So now that we've got everything coated, we've got that extra line of panel bond on there. We're going to go ahead and throw this panel up there, and we'll show you that process. Alright, so what are you doing right now, Sean?
With the stuff that kind of squeezed out a little bit, you always want to kind of brush it and make it more even. At least I like to. I mean, you don't have to, but see how it makes it. And then when you go back and sand that off for the fiberglass that we're going to put up there, it just makes it a lot easier, basically.
And for those wondering, we just went ahead and threw 2 screws in the top, just because we cut this front half off. That was the only other screw it had. So we're just using those 2 screws just to hold it tight while this panel bond adheres and dries. Yeah, and then we'll probably take those back off, right?
Yeah, those will come back out.
So Sean's going to go ahead and keep spreading this around the edges, and then we'll move on from there. So Sean pretty much just added a little bit here,
right
a little bit there.
It was a little wide right there, the gap was, but that's okay.
You pretty much want to make sure that this panel bond is sitting between the panel and the metal everywhere. I mean,
see how now there's no gap right there, and there's no gap down here. That just helps it, you know. In the long run, the water won't get behind there. Which, I mean, we're going to do other stuff too, but this is just the first step. And, you know, it always starts with the first step.
And I mean, with it being molded on, you know, we always run that risk of the bodywork cracking. So we definitely want it to be as tight to the body as possible. No give, no play.
We got some examples we'll show you in later videos of some previous bodywork, wide body stuff. Because we did have another car, and we will show you that, because that might even be a future project. We don't know at this point. But yeah, at some point we'll show you that and show you, because we did the same process on that car as we're doing on this car here. And I mean, the results, even after the accident it had, you'll see. We'll just show you.
Yeah, we'll show you guys in a little bit. She's looking good. Now, can you tell me why you went ahead and sanded this right here?
Well, because right here, it has this, of course, on the other flare that goes right here. And we're going to, you know, since the thing's going to get molded, we don't want that line there anymore. So we're going to actually put panel bond there and glue the 2 pieces together as well.
So what you're saying is we're actually going to be molding this side skirt to the quarter flare?
Correct.
So it'll be one piece.
When this is all said and done, this is just going to look like one piece. It's going to look like a car. It's not going to, I mean, of course you'll know that it's widened, but the overall goal is to make it look like it came from the factory this way.
So there's also a piece on the quarter panel flare that's going to sit just like that you've sanded.
Yeah. And we'll show you that when we go put that up here in just a few minutes.
Just so you guys see why that's sanded. That way we can be able to attach side skirt to quarter panel flare as one piece.